Admired the world over for its beautiful architecture, Cambridge is a mix of different architectural styles dating back many centuries. From Sir Christopher Wren's magnificent Wren Library at Trinity College, to the King's College Chapel, to the many college buildings dotted around the city. But hidden amongst the dreaming spires are many modernist buildings by renowned architects, many from the post-war period. From the 1959 razed faculty building by Sir Hugh Casson, Director of Architecture at the Festival of Britain, to the 1960 Erasmus building by Sir Basil Spence, architect of Coventry Cathedral. There's Murray Edwards College, designed by Chamberlain, Powell and Bonn, architects of the Barbican and Golden Lane estates in London. And Norman Foster's Faculty of Law building, a symbol of high-tech architecture. Perhaps one of the most interesting and controversial of all the post-war buildings in Cambridge is the Faculty of History building by Sir James Stirling, opened in 1967. The story of the Faculty of History building began in 1958, when James Stirling and his practice partner James Gowan submitted plans for the competition to build the new Churchill College in Cambridge. Although their submission was chosen and developed further, it didn't win the competition, and the college was designed by Richard Sheppard. At the time, Stirling and Gowan were relatively unknown young architects. However, their Churchill College competition attracted considerable interest and led to another project at Selwyn College in Cambridge. Although the Selwyn College project never went ahead, Stirling and Gowan were recommended by Leslie Martin, head of the architecture school at Cambridge, to design the new engineering department building at the University of Leicester in 1959. The Leicester Commission was significant, and Stirling and Gowan's submission was bold and innovative in both design and materials used in construction. The engineering building employed innovative construction methods, which appear to defy gravity. Load-bearing beams were engineered to enable the overhang of the lecture theater, with the juxtaposition of the heavy tower above. This in contrast to the lightness of the glass opaque roof of the engineering workshops. Having established their reputation with Leicester, Stirling and Gowan entered and won a competition to build a new Faculty of History at the University of Cambridge. Appointed to begin in 1963, a dispute between them resulted in the partnership being dissolved, and the project was transferred to Stirling's new practice. Built by William Sindel of Cambridge, the history faculty used similar construction techniques as Leicester, with the main supporting frame of the building made from reinforced concrete clad in red brick. Stirling wanted the focus of attention to be on the stair and lift towers, but undoubtedly the centerpiece of the building is the Seeley Historical Library. The library can be seen from every floor of the building, and seen from outside, the building appears to resemble an open book, with the library as the pages of the book fanned out. This vast cathedral-like space fans out in a radial design, spanning an L-shaped teaching and accommodation block, and holds around 95,000 volumes. The glazed roof of the library is supported by large metal beams, which decrease in size as they rise up the side of the building. Liked and disliked in equal measure, the building was not without its controversies, with many in Cambridge calling for its demolition in the 1980s. Renowned architect Richard Rogers, designer of the Georges Pompidou Center and the Lloyd's Building, comments on Stirling's work.
Jim's work was of considerable importance to all of us, specifically his early stage and specifically in that period when a lot of us were searching for a way out of the mainstream architecture. Like all young people, we were looking for a language of our own. He seemed to have it. He was very different to previous architects, and though we could now look back and see a way that he had built up his language to that moment of Leicester and then on to Cambridge and on. It was very startling, And I think he was tremendous. And of course he was Big Jim. He was bigger in every way, not only in his architecture, which actually was quite light, which was wonderful, which I love so much. We were looking for lightness, especially people like Norman Foster and I were looking for lightness. And he had that lightness.
Stirling's final project, in what is commonly known as the Red Trilogy, was the Florey building at the Queen's College in Oxford. Occupying a site next to the river, the Florey building was named after Lord Florey, winner of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, and provost of the college, and is stylistically in keeping with the buildings at Leicester and Cambridge, but is simpler in form.
And he was probably the most important, not probably, he was the most important post-war architect, certainly in Britain, and you could argue in the West.
James Stirling passed away in 1992, but his legacy is remembered each year by the IRBA Stirling Prize, which has been won by iconic buildings, such as 30 St. Mary's Axe by Norman Foster in the City of London, better known as the Gherkin, and with the Sainsbury Laboratory at the University of Cambridge.